All right, it's March 31st. We didn't plan on recording this week, kind of like a down week with storylines until, of course, today happened. Uh, we're gonna do like our two episodes a week starting next week, but Brian Cashman decided to open his mouth. I just don't understand why he would say this out loud. It gains no benefit. But he was talking to the Athletic, and he's bringing up 2017 in the year 2022, basically saying that the Astros are the like reason the Yankees went back to the World Series in 2009. Nothing else. The only thing that stopped us in 2017 was something that was so illegal and horrific. So I get offended when I start hearing we haven't been in the World Series since 2009 because I'm like, well, I think we actually did it the right way. We pulled it down, brought it back up, drafted well, traded well, developed well, signed well. The only thing that derailed us was a cheating circumstance that threw us off. I mean, like, sound more pathetic you can't. Like, I don't like the year 2017. I don't like what happened. But okay, what happened from 2009 to 2017? What happened to? I know obviously they cheated, no question about it. But you also scored 3 runs in those 4 games in Houston. Let's not forget that. I know 2 of them were run games, fair. But what about the other years? What about the years that I don't know, Tommy? I'm talking too much, but that quote infuriated me.
Yep. So it just makes the Yankees look like pathetic. It was fun for a while to complain about the Astros cheating, right? And we can still do it here and there, but it just feels different, the fans doing it versus the GM. And for Cashman to use it as like an excuse for, I mean, that's 1 year. You could say, maybe you want to say 2019, it might have fucked them over too, but
Yeah,
confirmed 1 year, 2017, it fucked them over. Like you said, their offense was bad in those games too. It's not like they would have just necessarily beat the Dodgers if they got to the World Series. So to sit here after the offseason that they've had and know how, the general feeling is from the Yankees fan base towards Cashman and the whole front office, and to sit here 5 years later and be like, well, technically we kind of have been to a World Series. It's such a slap in the face to Yankee fans where it's like, oh, cool. Like in your imagination, you think that maybe you built a World Series team, but guess what? There's no memories for the Yankee fans of being in a World Series, of winning a World Series. The history books don't show the Yankees in a World Series or winning a World Series. So to use that as an out instead of being like, yeah, maybe we haven't built up that good of a team. They've developed Aaron Judge. Really, I mean, that's it. I mean, Gary Sanchez, he's gone. Greg Bird gone. Severino's hurt. Like it's not like they've been developing fucking star player after star player. It's such an out of touch quote. And I can't believe that he actually said it.
that's we were texting in the group. We literally thought it was a fake quote, like
Right.
just masking all their problems, all their fallacies for the last 13 years because of one season is so like the Red Sox and Rays have completely lapped you as an organization. The Astros went back to the World Series this past year. They just got back there. They kind of proved like, hey, we're good. Like we can just do this on our own. And sure, you want to say 2019 was a cheating scale? Sure, but what about this past year? You can't say anything about that. Nothing. They got back there. It's absolutely so pathetic for him to say that. If he wanted to say this quote in 2018, sure, or 20,
Yeah.
whenever it broke, whenever 2019, whenever the news broke, absolutely go for 2022. Like, come on, man. Like, look yourself in the fucking mirror. You're the problem. You and Hal are the problem. How about like trying to construct a good roster one time, like a roster that makes sense one time? How about like not prospect holding until these guys are worth absolutely nothing, like a Clint Frazier, like a fucking Miguel Andujar, like those types of guys, Gary Sanchez. How about trying to invest in the starting rotation, like get this team a real number 2 pitcher instead of having to try and rely on a James Paxton or Corey Kluber to like all of a sudden forget their injury prone players and they'll just like bounce back and have miracle seasons. Like that's not addressing the starting rotation. That's just hoping you find lightning in a bottle from an old veteran pitcher. Or like,
It's
it's
crazy.
so frustrating
The fact that
for
he
him to
actually
say that kind of quote.
the fact that he actually believes this is, I think, maybe the most concerning part. Like, do we think that, when Cashman and Hal are being like, should we go sign Corey Seager? Should we go sign Freddie Freeman? Should we go sign Max Scherzer? Should we go sign this top guy? Maybe like, well, we technically kind of were just in a World Series in 2017. Like that may actually be what they were thinking. They may be thinking like, we were kind of in the World Series already. That doesn't matter. It's just it goes against like everything the Yankees should be. We shouldn't be whining and complaining because we kind of were in a World Series, even though it's been 13 years. He should be pissed off. He should be like, yeah, it's fucking horrible. It's an embarrassment that it's been 13 years since we've been in the World Series. And we have to do everything we can to get back there instead of just, banging your feet.
Also, what's your excuse for not getting there between 2009 and 2017? Awful quote. So I thought we should have addressed it rather than waiting until I think we're gonna have an episode out Tuesday for you guys, where we're gonna do a full season preview, and then you'll hear from us again after opening day on Friday for like a mini episode, like a little recap of opening day. Another quick thing that just hit the wire is that the Yankees are gonna have 21 games on Amazon Prime only this coming season. What? Like, how is that growing the game? Putting games behind a paywall. Now, like, I feel like most people have Amazon Prime. Like, I don't think like many people, I don't think too many, I guess there's gonna be old people out there, right, who just don't. But like our generation, I feel like not many people are gonna have to go out and get Amazon Prime to watch these games. For me personally, a guy who loves notifications and shit, like you're going to get notifications 30 seconds before they happen for watching these, like beat reporters at the game who love to tweet shit when it happens. And that's the job. Or like notifications from like sports apps are just going to like be 30 seconds to a minute. Like there's no streaming service really that like watch ESPN, for example. You watch a game on Watch ESPN. What was I watching? Warriors, Suns last night. I was watching on my phone in bed because I didn't want to go to the living room and watch it on cable. Full like minute behind like the live events, minute and a half or so. It's just like it doesn't work like that. Even like cable is behind, live cable, like by like 10 seconds. But Amazon Prime is gonna be 30 to 40 seconds. That's unacceptable. I need everyone on the same fucking page or like close to it. I hate this.
Yeah, like you said, I have Amazon Prime, so it won't affect me too much outside of the delay. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of people, especially like, maybe like uncles and dads out there that may not have Amazon Prime. They're like, well, I just can't watch the Yankees. I don't, they must be getting a bag of money, but it's just another move that is sort of driving a wedge, I feel like, between ownership, front office, and the fans, where it's like, you money hungry, greedy bastards are taking yourselves off our TVs for 20 games. And, it'd be one thing they can just win a World Series and then just spend fucking 300 million, 400 million this offseason on all these top free agents. But when they seem to be penny pinching and then they're still squeezing every dollar they can out of the fans, that's a little bit fucking annoying.
Let's also just point out that letter is getting announced in like a week. Like going back to the Cashman thing. Sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking that he must know it's nothing bad.
There's no way you could possibly say this to The Athletic and have that letter be bad, right? Like that would be the most like tone deaf thing of all time. Like that would be insane. There's just no way. That quote was crazy. I can't believe he just don't say it. Just don't say it. Just keep things to yourself. Say it internally. Like there's just no reason to say that. Helps no one, that quote. No, except for Yankee haters. It's just like, or it fuels the fire that people want Cashman gone just by saying that. So, yeah, just thought you'd hear from us real quick about that. Not a whole lot going on with the team, really. That's why we didn't feel like to do like a full episode, and we thought we'll just save it all for Tuesday. They announced starting rotation. Severino, he was scratched. They pushed back and started. I think he's starting over the weekend now. He seems to be okay, but he's going to be very limited. It's like his pitch count in his final spring training game is 40. That means like we're looking at 55 maybe for his like start against, if that. So in my mind, I created it. Like you're going to see a lot throughout the whole league. You're going to see a ton of piggybacking, just because pitchers across the league just aren't ready. Like, I don't even know how long Cole can go. Maybe 5 to 6 innings. But like a guy like Sevy in his start, you might see like a Luis Hill, who is not named in the starting rotation, but he could be the guy that comes in and gives you 3 innings, whatever. They've even floated around the idea of maybe Nestor coming in for Garrett Cole on opening day if like Cole doesn't go super long, because they're not going to kill these guys' arms. Clark Schmidt is another guy. You can see those 3 guys. Nestor, I know Nestor's in the rotation, but with days off, I think he's fine to pitch early in the rotation. like Nestor Clark and Luis Hill could be guys you see giving you multiple innings in these first few games. It's gonna be weird across the whole league. Like starting pitchers aren't gonna go really deep. It's gonna be a lot of bullpen shit. I think Boone said today they might carry 16 guys, 16 arms to start the season. That's a ton of arms.
Oh yeah, because they could have 28. So
28. So it's 3 bench players. That's still a ton. He also like kind of folded the idea on like how Mike King wasn't a guarantee. He's on the roster, but like to even have to say like Mike King is like really good. He should be like one of the top tier names in the pen. Like the way he ended last season was incredible. The way he figured everything out. I want that guy. I know he has options, but like, and not other guys do, but I don't care. One last thing before we wrap up. My buddy brought this up to me the other day, and it's so funny. Remember when Greg Allen was on that crazy hot streak, and he like that one month where like everyone stole bases on the Yankees. It was like a shot in the arm. Like, wow, look at this team. And then they sent Greg Allen down, and there was no excuse for why he didn't come back up, except for they wanted to preserve his option. He's just on the Pirates.
Yeah. Insane. He was a god for those like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it was. Whatever. It's just another. Well, maybe his fucking wins created plus XF fifth, whatever was fucking not good enough or whatever.
Like the excuse was we're saving his option, and then he's just on a different team. I just want to bring that up. It's just crazy to me. Okay, this is just a quick hitter. Watch it on YouTube. We'll have it on the podcast feed too. Appreciate you guys for listening. Fuck. This team's so frustrating. We'll see you later.